This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
What is shaking? It is J.M. Ryerson, Let's Go Win podcast, and we're here for Tuesday tune-ups. What is happening?
Oh, I'm Lisa, by the way.
I was saying, what's happening? I had what's shaking bacon in my head.
Oh my God, that's what I was going to say. Bacon. You miss the bacon.
But I don't know. I just was a different. I try to
super cheesy.
It is pretty cheesy, but I try to change it a little bit because otherwise, my go-to is "What's up, guys?" Like every single time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to throw some new ones in there.
Nice. I like it. I think you should keep on finding new things to say.
All right. Well, good morning.
Shaking bacon.
So today, this is one of the most popularly written about subjects. And so I almost didn't write about it because there's so many different ones on this subject matter. But what's going to be cool, I purposely hid my screen.
You did hide your screen.
So that you don't know what my answers were because I want to hear your thoughts. And I will pull mine up at the end, I promise. But the subject matter for today is the 3 things I would tell my 18-year-old self.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and if you're struggling, I can pull mine up. But for me, it was pretty quick. This was an easy one to write, even though I thought it was going to be hard because you always try and differentiate a little bit from other writings. This one was, everybody's perspective is different. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to put you on the spot here.
I have 2.
Okay.
Out of the 3. I'm thinking about the third one.
Well, while we talk, I'm sure the third will come along. But let's start. What would be, I'm talking to 18-year-old Lisa. Is this the thin Lisa or is this the Monica Lisa? I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness. I may have been a little fluffy in high school.
You were pretty fluffy.
I was eating Twinkies every morning.
I hear you.
My mom gave me Twinkies or Ho-Hos for breakfast every morning.
So maybe that's the first thing you tell 18-year-old self? No Twinkies in the morning?
No, or just be fluffy. It's totally cool. No, so the first thing that came to my mind was life is not that serious. Like, it's not that serious, right? Because I remember just stressing out about everything, going to college and, looking a certain way. And it's just not that serious. And to just let it go, right? Like, enjoy the journey, right? Shit's going to happen. No. Just enjoy the journey and just life isn't that serious.
This is probably the biggest, if I have fears specific to our kids, this is the one, because when kids or teenagers, they think this girl breaking up with them or an F on a test or whatever mistake they make, this is where people make really poor decisions. And so this is the one, I agree. I love this one that you brought up because that's not that I think our kids would ever harm themselves. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But if I'm being truthful in the back of my mind, back, that's one of my greatest fears is they take one thing in their high school or, that teen years when we were kind of,
just lost.
lost and we're finding our way.
Yeah.
That concerns me that they take it so seriously. So I like that one. That's good. So you took everything far more seriously than you do today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
Oh yeah. There was definitely way more serious back then. It was just it was so much pressure, right? It was pressure from my mom to be perfect and to do all the right things and to get into the right colleges and to get a scholarship and, play tennis and win. And I mean, and it could have been a lot of pressure that I put on myself as well. There was just very high expectations of me growing up. And so I wanted to impress and make sure that I was doing all the right things and being the perfect little girl that she wanted me to be.
Interesting. So some outside pressures from mom and possibly dad. I'll have to, actually, your dad's here, so maybe I'll ask him about how serious an 18 you were.
I don't think he was always,
Your dad is not serious at all.
No, he was wonderful. He literally, so during my, we're going to veer off a little bit. During my fluffy stage, right? James likes to call me Monica, but during my fluffy stage, I just remember like kind of worrying about it or like one of my brothers would be like, oh, it's better if you wear, shirts with sleeves because your arms are a little bit big. Or, there were just little things that were said to me. And I remember just kind of being upset about it. And my dad goes, oh, don't worry, honey. It's baby fat. You'll outgrow that. I was 18 years old. But I just remember going, okay, cool. I'll outgrow it. But the second I went to college, like I dropped 10, 15 pounds because we were training 2-a-days, right? Playing tennis, college tennis. And so it helped itself out. But yeah, so that's my first one. Don't take things too seriously.
I love that. And you know what? It's one of the most endearing things about your dad, like, because he is very much a Buddhist. He is very laid back, very spiritual, nothing is going to bother him. And so your dad obviously learned this lesson very early. I mean, shoot, he's one of 12 kids. I suppose you have to learn to have patience and to not take it so serious.
Right.
But it is. It's one of the things that drives me crazy about him, but it's also probably the thing I love the most. Like, he is such an easy man to be around.
So easy.
Not to veer off to him because we're focused on your 18-year-old self. So not to take life too serious. What's number 2?
Number 2 is don't care what other people think about you. Right? Like, be you. It's important to be you. Because I was a little quirky. I was trying to find my way. I permed hair, by the way. Like, permed hair and a little fluffy.
No offense to anybody that has permed hair.
But like, for
your
me,
hair, not the best.
Should not be permed, right? I just have a thing like, it should not be permed. So anyways, but I got made fun of sometimes, like everybody does. And I worried about that. And I wanted to have the coolest outfits. I remember like asking my mom, hey, I remember when Wet Seal was like the coolest thing back in the day.
Don't know what Wet Seal is.
Oh, that's because you're from Montana. Okay. Well, in California, they had Wet Seal.
Montanans had Wet Seal. I did not.
And so they had like the hammer pants that were really cool back in the day, the MC Hammer pants. And I just remember going, gosh, I really need like the coolest outfit and the coolest shoes, because then the girls at my school or the guys would think I'm cool, right? So it was always this whole thing of worrying about whether other people thought of me. And then I went to college, and I think that's where I really came into my own. It was kind of like, nope, this is me. And it's grown through the years, because now it's like, okay, this is who I am. This is how I am. You either love me or you don't. I'm an acquired taste. And cool if you do and cool if you don't, right? Like, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, and this is for anyone, I think. There are very few people out there that truly do not care. But at some point in life, we do. At 5, 6, 7, you really don't care for the most part what people think. And then we start to. And then I always hear the comparison, like the 10-year reunion versus the 20-year reunion for high school.
Yeah.
Radically different, right? Like the 10-year, everybody's trying to puff out their chest and show who they are. By the 20-year, everybody's just trying to keep their hair together, and but they're just them, and they've accepted who they are. So there is that period of life where this is, and I hope any 18-year-old listening, I so agree with what you said. Like, who cares? It's none of your business what anybody else thinks, because you really can't change their mind.
Right.
Right. You be you. I think that's awesome. And do you have a third?
I do. The third one is life is too short not to have fun every single day. It took me a long time to get to that point, right? What has helped, not what has helped, but I remember when my brother passing, that helped me to go, you know what? Like, nothing's guaranteed, so we need to start having a different perspective on life. I feel like I went through so many years of my life and days where I just wake up and I was kind of miserable. Like, things were maybe not the way that I had expected it to go. And I was kind of just down on myself, especially having kids. Like, I remember after having the first child, I'm very career oriented. I need to have that purpose. There's people out there that I absolutely admire. Like, one is your sister, and they're just these amazing moms. And all they ever wanted to be, was a mom, which is amazing. That is a freaking hardest job in the world.
No doubt.
And I thought, oh, maybe I can be a stay-at-home mom, and I want to be home with my kids. Probably not like I regret it, but it was also a decision that probably wasn't the best for me and my psyche and for our marriage, right? Because I wasn't out there. I wasn't having the social interaction and, really firing up my brain, to to do a career, because that's what I love to do. I'm very competitive. I like to do other things. And for me, being a mom was the hardest thing, and I struggled with it, and I didn't feel like I was doing a good job. And so that was really hard for me. And having that perspective, like if I could go back to that and just being, oh my gosh, I should have been grateful that you were able to provide for our family so I could spend those extra moments with my child, right? Because there's people out there that can't, they have to go to work and they can't have those times with their babies and watching them grow, right? So if I could go back, it's like I should have had more fun. Now, over by baby number two, when Trey came along, I figured that out. I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to
relax
do this.
a little bit.
Yeah, relax a little bit. Don't worry about him dying. Like, don't worry about eating everything. And going, you know what? Let's go have fun. Let's go meet other moms and do play dates. And I did have a lot more fun with that. So over the years, and now it's like, people ask me all the time, do you ever cook? Not really. I try to sometimes, to be healthy, but we're out and we're having a great time, and people go, do you work? And I go, I do actually. I work during the day. I'm constantly kind of working. But what you see on social media is we do have a lot of fun as well, even with work, right? It doesn't matter if it's work or not work. Like, I'm trying to have fun all the time.
Life is too short. Got to have a good time. I love the three. So to recap for you, it was...
Don't take things too seriously.
Okay.
Be you, right? Don't care about what other people think about you. And then life is just too short not to have fun every single day.
I like them. I will quickly go through mine because I love that you got to share more about you, which is awesome. Mine is ask elders advice. That's actually, when people ask about Let's Go Win the book, that was a big part, was because there's so many questions that I should have asked my grandparents more. Right now, I've tried to take advantage of asking my parents, your parents questions, but once they go away, some of the philosophies do as well. So that was the idea, is to capture some of, whether it's, my grandparents, my parents, authors, mentors, that goes into the book. So asking elders advice. I wish at 18, I had sought more advice and didn't think I knew so much, which I didn't know shit at that time.
But at 18, you think you know everything.
Man, I did. I felt that way. This is which people think is funny, but meet new people continuously. It's interesting. There was a phase where I had a real tight group, and that was it. And I wasn't trying to expand my horizon. And I've so shifted that. Even more so than maybe you now, where I really enjoy meeting new people and new ideas. And that really does fill a bucket. So I would have told my 18-year-old self, do that, because that makes the world so much more interesting. Mm-hmm. And then this one is just live in the now. And this is the one that I think I have down pretty well. And that is just being 100% present, having fun. As you know, fun is a big part for, I have to. But living in the now, because it's not guaranteed. We could be gone tomorrow. And we had kind of a crappy, this won't come out during this week, but we had a crappy week. But it was a good perspective to say, you know what, give everything you have in the now. Mm-hmm. And I wish I had told my 18-year-old self, don't waste a day. Don't waste a moment. Just give it everything you have and let the chips fall as they may. So those are my three.
I like them.
I do too. Thank you. What do we have going on? What would you like them to see, do, help? How can they help us? How can we help them?
Yeah, well, make sure to visit us on our website, letsgowin.com. Lots of fun, exciting new things. Like, we have a new marketing company. They're like revamping all these things to give you guys the best of everything that we have, right? And so, yeah, check us out when you get a chance.
Yeah, go to letsgowin.com and give us some feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. We want this to be the best experience possible. We want to inspire you guys to live your best lives. That's why the company exists. So that's awesome. Until next time, you guys, continue getting better every day. We'll talk to you then. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.